Our first guest, y'all, I'm so excited. Our first guest of season 4, I was very excited to have him as that guest. He is no stranger to awards or life on the road. He has packed countless stadiums and arenas from Boston to San Diego. Please give it up for the man lucky enough to call Trisha Yearwood his better half, Garth Brooks!
You like these?
I am going to buy them.
No
and
kidding.
Totally steal your style. Sit down.
You're very sweet.
Wait.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love those.
So,
I love you.
Do these people live with you? This
Yes.
is cool.
I like roommates.
I also like this whenever you say road trip. That thing that happens. That's cool.
I forgot that they do it a lot during the show, and it's kind of my favorite thing.
It's nice.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Because I've said road trip twice now, and nothing's happened.
No. well, nothing's happened. He said road trip twice. That's crazy, y'all. It is the power of me. He's like, no. So wait, if you couldn't tell, we are on a road trip. I mean, 170 million albums, and you didn't get it.
That's right, baby. I don't get that.
You didn't get that. I love it when you went back out on the road. I know this for certain. This is the year that you've gone back out, because you went off for like 2 years, right?
Yeah, so
because everybody did.
We did the comeback tour 14 through 18, and then started the stadium tour in 19, and then the pandemic shut us down twice.
Yeah.
And people were very sweet, but each time they came back in greater numbers than they first were there. So it's so sweet. I think what people love about touring, that it's back now, is I think people are finally where they belong, and that's together again. So that makes me really happy.
It's so important. It's so healing. Have you seen Wicked?
Wicked is wicked.
Wicked.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have those moments as a singer when you go see a show and you're like, it's like taking everything to keep you from wanting to run on stage and sing with them?
No, it's taking everything to go, how in the world do they do that?
Oh.
Like some chick came out here early, I don't know who it was, but she's doing this, welcome to New York kind of thing. And then at the very end, she goes to some octave that doesn't even register in my freaking brain. And I'm like, and she's a talk show host. You're just great at everything you do.
No.
And and you're a sweet, beautiful woman. You are my wife's favorite person, which upsets me a lot because I'd like to be my wife's favorite person, but she adores you.
Trisha.
I know it.
I'm obsessed. I kind of think she might think I'm a stage 5 clinger, but it's okay. But your new project, let's talk about it. So it's called the Anthology Part 2. It's the next 5 years. So explain what it is. Like, why the next 5 years?
Well, we're just doing the anthology. So it starts, and what I love is it's not Garth's story. It's everybody that was ever involved. Yeah. So I saw a documentary on 2 people that I just love, and all of them were like Star's friend or historian kind of thing. Yeah. They don't know, right? Ask the people that were standing right there when it happened. If you're cutting records, ask the guys playing the records, the producers. Yeah. So all their voices are in here. I think that's the fun part.
I know. Yeah. I think it's a real, truly like behind the scenes moment.
I agree.
Well, we asked Garth to be our first guest this season. Well, one, because I love him, and because nobody has brought more Americans together on the road with music than he has. Trust me, I've been there. It's insane. And you walk away wanting to quit. So it's time to take a Garth Brooks Music and Memories road trip. So let's start in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm very excited about this. Was your song Beaches of Cheyenne inspired by a visit to Wyoming? Were you there, like, while writing?
No, it's just a cowboy story, and it originally was an accountant who wanted to be a cowboy. So he'd walk on the beaches of L.A. at night dreaming he's a cowboy. And so every night he walked the beaches of Cheyenne, and then one time when we're all singing it around the campfire, I make the mistake of going every night she walks the beaches of Cheyenne, and all of a sudden it clicked, turned into a ghost story, turned into a woman that lost her cowboy. And man, I got to tell you, this is one of those songs, and you'll know exactly what I mean. For some reason, I think it gets a better response now than it did decades ago. So it's one of those songs where time is a friend to it.
Yeah.
And time is a friend to all things good. So it's pretty sweet to get to watch it. And when you say people show up and stuff like that, and I go, I don't know why. If I had some hand come out of the sky with a box that said, in here is the reason why it's happening to you, I would hope you'd open that box and it would say the music.
Yeah.
Just that catalog of songs, just that
Absolutely.
list of songs.
By the way, it is. So here's your box.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I love the imagery it paints. Like I'm so lucky the time in country music that I grew up and really fell in love with it. It was such a great time. Anyway.
Well, try to remember, everything is in cycles, right? Clothes, fashion, everything. So storytelling, if it's going to be in, at some point it's got to be out. There's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes back in, you're going to love it, and people go, oh, what is that? And it'll all be new to them, too. So just remember that. You can't have a top without a bottom. Find what you love and what you have right now.
All right, everybody, I'm back with our season premiere guest, Garth Brooks. Give it up for him. We are taking a road trip through music and memories. You can find out more about how to order his new project, The Anthology Part 2, by going to the Kelly Clarkson Show Instagram. And the next stop is Oklahoma City. So you have a song called The Change, which is remarkable. And it relates to Oklahoma City. And can you talk about that moment? Because it's a beautiful moment, the one performance that I'm talking about. I think it was American Music Awards when you did it. It was so beautiful. Can you explain?
So Tony Arata had this song for years. I thought he had written it for Oklahoma City, but in here I learned he did not. He had it. But when I heard it, it was right after the Oklahoma City bombing. And for me, my mom, I called my mom to check on her. She was okay. And she had thought the front porch of her house had fallen. That's how big it was. And she lived a pretty good distance away from downtown. So that song really got to me. That whole thing of they keep telling you that no matter what you do, nothing's going to change, right?
When our show rolled into New York, our producers met some fans of Garth's because, well, anywhere you go, you will, and they had some questions. So let's start with someone who connects with one of Garth's early jobs. Here we go.
Hey Kelly and Garth, huge fan of yours. My name is Brian. I'm a doorman here at a luxury apartment building in New York City. And Garth, I know at one point in your life you were a bouncer, which is kind of similar to being a doorman, but I'm sure you had to break up some pretty intense fights being a bouncer, which me being a doorman, I've had to break up some pretty intense fights here as well. But Garth, I just wanted to know, what is your craziest story from being a bouncer, if you can recall?
You were a bouncer?
For 3 years.
You're so nice. What were you like? Excuse me, sir. No, like I can't even picture you angry.
I am the meanest person
you
you
are
have
so
ever
full
met.
of I can't say that. You are so full of it. Wait, you were a bouncer for 3 years?
Yeah, so I wore a college uniform, athletics, right? So I was a javelin thrower. So you got to hang out with all the wrestlers and football players.
You were a javelin thrower?
The first 2 years, your freshman, sophomore year, you have to catch it. If you survive that, then you get to throw it. But, javelin jokes. Anyway, I'll get to the point. Thank you.
They just keep coming.
They just keep coming. So
you were a bouncer.
Yeah, that kid, you could even tell on the thing, this kid's tall, he's got reach, right?
Yeah.
I pretty much just danced with every beautiful woman in the place while all the big boys did the work. But it was fun. You got to wear the badge and all that stuff.
I just can't picture you as like, no, you can't come in. You're like, you know what? You look like you've had a hard day. Just come on in. Like, you're just so kind. I'm like, you were a bouncer? You'd be like the nicest bouncer ever. Okay, next stop is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh.
Now we know why we picked this one. I think this is hysterical. Is it true that you caused an earthquake?
Can you believe it?
Yes, actually.
Can you believe
and it's remarkable, but yes, I can. Like, how did they find that out? Like, what happened?
So we played Baton Rouge, we put the tickets on sale. I get on an airplane. When I land, they said, we're done with the sale. I said, what the hell happened? They said, 103,000 tickets in 40-something minutes are gone. I said, you've got to be kidding me. So when you go out there and you play it, it's cool. They got 8 to 10 to 15,000 people outside the stadium. You can hear them singing over the walls too. And in my respect and love for Baton Rouge, they treated every song of that concert like Callin Baton Rouge, like the single.
Yeah.
But when I asked them, because I'd heard this story about Springsteen, that he had this one song that he didn't play for years and years, and all he did one night was go, "Is it time?" And this place went bananas. And I'm like, ooh, well, right now, it's like, ooh, I wonder if I could do that. And I just looked at him and I said, is it time? And here it came. And when it was, when it starts, all of a sudden the smartwatches started lighting up. And somebody took a picture of it. It says, if you keep this volume up, you will have hearing impairment within like 7 minutes. And the Richter scale started moving on there. So we had a GarthQuake, which is pretty cool.
just gonna visit this moment that you just kind of skipped over the fact that the 100-something thousand people were I keep saying this to you, but you know that's not normal. Like you're about to go play to like 400,000 people or something in Ireland. That's not normal. That's not normal.
Well, that's Baton Rouge and it's Ireland though too.
No, it's you keep giving reasons. Oh, it's because it's a Sunday and everyone's off. It's like that's not normal. No one does that. It's such amazing like reach that you have with so many people across the world. It's a gift, and you're going to leave some mighty footprints behind. Is all I'm saying.
Very sweet.
So the next fan question. Here we go. Let's go. Another question for Garth from a New Yorker. When it comes to street food, love. Oh. She's the one that you want to visit. Here you go.
Yes.
Hi, Kelly. I'm Liz, born and raised in New York, and I own New York hot dogs with my dad and family. I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan. What are your favorite toppings to have on a hot dog? Thanks.
Oh, sweet. What are your favorite toppings on a hot dog? First of all, I love her shirt.
Me too.
Second, a lot.
Yeah.
Is that a topping?
We're both Southern. It's a topping.
Honey,
yeah.
it is. I'm a chili cheese mustard kind of guy.
Okay.
Some guys do the relish thing or this kind of thing. I don't want anything in my way.
I mean, I can have it any way. Plain, relish. I like hot dogs. Chili cheese, relish, mustard, plain. I could do it anyway.
There's a million
Sauerkraut.
reasons. There's a million reasons why you know the love of your life is the love of your life.
Yeah.
I told Miss Sherwood, I said, you want to go out to dinner tonight? She said, yeah. I took her to a baseball game for a baseball hot dog.
Of course you did.
And she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
She threw down the challenge. And that little gal, I'm going to tell you, when she turns it on, it's like she's the best, man. What I love about her is she's a guy that's got all the great girl stuff, you know?
Yeah.
She is. She's fabulous. She is fabulous. She's a sports nut.
That is all the great girl
Oh
stuff.
my God.
I love that. No,
I
it's a
love
best
her.
friend. It's a best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we are back in the great city of New York for our season premiere with the one, the only, the Garth Brooks. So let's hit the final stop on our Music and Memories road trip, New York City. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna need a minute.
New York City.
New York City.
I can't think of a gig we've had here.
You can't think of a gig.
I can't think of a gig
I have a finger for you. Okay, it's been 25 years since a million people showed up in Central Park for you, not for the playgrounds, not for the lake, not for anything else. You hold the record like nobody, that doesn't, I mean, I can't even, like what, it's just silly. It's really silly. And here's the thing, so I was young whenever that happened, so I missed the performance that I'm about to talk about because then I was like, oh my God, a million people, I remember that. And then I looked it up and you and Billy Joel, that's how, it was like closer to the end of the show, right? Mm-hmm. When he came out, you and Billy Joel, it was like both of you were like bringing your A game on New York State of Mind, and I literally, it's the most soulful, most amazing live performance ever.
Oh.
And I just need to know, what's the main moment that you remember from Central Park? Because what an amazing, first of all, venue, and what an amazing thing, a million people there. What's the thing that stands out for you the most?
It's pretty cool, I mean, because everything's about the music. So we get through doing Shameless, which Billy Joel wrote,
yeah.
And then Billy Joel comes out without an introduction and walking behind me. Well, the crowd goes nuts, and I'm thinking, you know, ego guy here. I'm thinking it's for me, and I'm sitting there starting to get like 7 foot tall, and I look back and he's there, and when then he sits down and, hey, you want to play something for these people out here? And try to remember, the reason why they showed up, it might have been the most gorgeous night on the planet.
It wasn't the night, Garth.
It was great.
You can justify it and say all these things. They thought Jesus was coming, all these things. But like they came because you were there. Okay, wow. Continue.
All right, very sweet. So he sits down at the piano and try to remember, I'm the biggest Billy Joel fan on the planet.
Ah, well.
And I am standing 10 feet from him. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You got to be a fan and an artist at the same time.
Yeah.
How many times do you get to do that?
Yeah, and I think you revert back to those moments, like some songs and some artists feel like home because like if you were having such a hard time growing up or whatever your experiences in life, that song lifted you out of that moment. And so it's attached to more than just the music. It's attached to emotion, which is so incredible.